Thank you for joining us on the Overcomers Overcoming podcast series, where we profile those who have overcome or those who are in the process of overcoming any life topic. We have three objectives with this podcast series. Our first objective is we want you to know that whatever you're experiencing in life, whatever you're encountering, you're not alone. We want to join you to let you know that we together can help you through whatever challenge you may have that at the time may seem too difficult to be able to overcome. Our second objective is to help you determine with a very confident resolve there are multiple solutions, multiple factors involved in any life encounter. It's a matter of thinking into and thinking through the life situation you are encountering to determine the various options, the various solutions that are available to you. Our third objective is to help you with critical thinking skills. If whatever you're experiencing is a result of a decision you made sometime in the past, such that if you had a life redo, you would make a different decision, we want to help you determine the objective facts and factors to evaluate to help you reach a more informed decision. I'm Ron Cooper, founder of the Cooper Culture. I'm with my wife and business partner, Marty. Together we are the Cooper Culture, and the Cooper Culture is sponsoring this podcast series. We have Anita Santoyo joining us today. She is a lady who has overcome some of her past. She has, as she will explain to you, at an earlier age, she did not know the value that she had. Marty, what are some takes that you think our listeners can draw from this podcast?
Ron, in Anita's message today, she went from eloping, having 5 children, feeling like she wasn't worthy because she didn't have a degree, to a person that worked her way through and slowly began to believe, I can do this. She believed in herself, and she's doing it.
Anita tells us that she went through life acknowledging she didn't have some of the credentials that some of the more successful people have, and these are definitions and stereotypes that people have interjected into some people, but she has overcome all that, and she is a personal success. Let's listen together, Marty, to determine how she has overcome some things of her past. Anita, thanks for joining us today. As we have said in the intro, we are about helping people overcome stuff. Mm-hmm. Almost everybody is overcoming something. Almost everybody has encountered some mountain, we call it. Yeah. I would like to do this, but I have no idea how I can. I don't even know if I'm capable of. And there's some of us who came up early in life doubting ourselves, mm-hmm. having a very low self-confidence, very low self-image, those kind of things. Anita, I am that person speaking just that, and I have overcome some things. And Anita, I know you've started a nonprofit, and I know there's a lot of other things in your life that you have started. You are very successful by a lot of different measures, but I'm also going to believe that not everything has gone exactly right. You have overcome various failings. Yeah. Can you give us, as you're generating some thoughts right now,
right?
What are some things?
Because I did not prepare for this. Yes.
What are some things that you have taken on and you have had to overcome?
You know, like I think back in my journey, and I think of all the things that I have done in my life, and I think the one common factor that I have had to overcome in each of those things has been my own self. And that has been the greatest challenge, actually, is my own thinking, my own thoughts that say I can't, my own darkness that sometimes stops me or sometimes will trip me up. And so it's constant work, even to this day, to get to where I need to be for other people and for my journey and for God. And it's constant faith. It's learning about my relationship with God, my spirituality with Him, my journey with Him. And, you know, it's very private. That's a very one-on-one type of thing, and it's a very daily thing. So I yeah, my own self is kind of like the biggest challenge and the biggest thing that I've had to overcome.
Talk to us a little bit more in detail about that. That's a very overarching topic I've had to overcome myself.
Yeah.
Anita, am I hearing you correctly? I've had to overcome my low self-image, my low confidence, I'd had to overcome
So, you know,
doubts.
I used to say low self-worth, but it's not really low self-worth, it's low self-value. There is this saying that gets to this point where it's like when you are in flow with the universe, like everything is a choice. When you are not in flow with the universe, everything is a reaction. And that is so true, because when you are in flow with the universe and when you realize your self-value, that you were created and you alone had these traits and you alone have this look and you alone may be different than you are different than every other being. You have to honor that individuality. It wasn't so much a self-worth. I don't think I understood my value.
I have an expression, Anita, and tell me if this correlates with what you just said. I'm uncertain of my self-value. I use the expression, and I've had to just live life to know everybody has a story someone needs to hear.
Yeah.
Now, if you can resonate with what that expression is saying, everybody has a story, someone needs to hear it. In other words, you have value, Anita. Somebody out there needs to hear what your story is because your personal story resonates with me. You have value, Anita. You just told me exactly what I need to hear. Now, in the context of the word value, did it take you a while to reckon with that type concept? Well, maybe I really do have a value to somebody.
Yeah, no, it took, I'm 43, about to be 44, so it's taken 44 years, yeah.
Okay.
And it'll probably take until I'm, 80, and it'll be a journey every single day to understand the totality of the value that I've been given. And it truly things that can get done when you do know your value and when you do honor it. And I am someone who did not have the qualifications that are required of our human system. I didn't have a college degree. I didn't do the conventional route. I eloped and I moved across the country. I had 5 kids. I fell into commercial real estate and I worked myself up from an admin position to a position that required a law degree and was schmoozing with millionaire developers and things like that. I mean, but that took work ethic, that took a positive attitude, that took the one thing I have always had in life is a love for life. I really do love life. I even in the pain, as long as it's alive, I'm there with it. And so I think you're taken to these levels that are amazing. And when I stopped commercial real estate and I became a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, so now look at it. Now I'm a person with qualifications outside of it. But I have all of these desires to go do things in life. And if you look at me on paper and if you look at my resume, you're like, yeah, but why would we? And so I just started creating stuff. I just started saying, okay, like I don't fit the parameters of this human system, so I'm going to start creating what I want to do in life. And one of those first things was Humans of Calvert County, where I saw Humans of New York, and I just saw him going around and interviewing people and talking to them. And I love people. I love their stories. I love their journeys. And I think that's how we learn, is through other people's journeys. If we're not judging them, but if we're like going into them with them and saying, what can I learn from this? Where can I pull? And that message gets to the person who needs it. Like with your podcast, it's going to get to the person who needs it. I just wanted to do that. So I just called a friend and we started interviewing people. And my first interview was Francis, who I love and adore and still have a relationship with to this day. And he worked at the 231 landfill. And every time I went to the 231 landfill, he was just so kind and so happy and so joyous. I said, you know what, if anyone's going to do this, he will do it for me. And sure enough, he did. And his main message was, you know what, if you're waking up every day with breath, you should be waking up with joy because you have breath that day. And one day you're not going to wake up. And so enjoy the days that you have. And literally from that point, it kind of like really resonated with me that, yeah, I only have a limited time here and I'm trying to fit myself into a system I didn't create. And so it's not working. And so I have to create and I have to use the talents that God has given me in order to fulfill the purpose of why I am here. And so every day kind of after that has been a journey of self-discovery. And whether that's listening to podcasts or whether that's listening to videos, whether that's meditation, whether that's, stretching in yoga or working out or walking in nature, laying in nature, whatever it may be, it is always a part of me to like say, okay, there is a greater purpose. So now where I think it like used to consume me a little bit, like I don't have these things that I need to in order to do these things, and it used to stop me. I don't even think of them anymore.
Let me ask something that may be very personal, Anita. Mm-hmm. Scripture tells us, God says, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. I made you with a purpose.
Yes.
And you've accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, as Marty and I have. We are a part of what's known as the elect. Mm-hmm. Anybody can make the choice. God knew the choice we would make.
Now, I would put a caveat to that. I have accepted Jesus, just because I want to be completely forthright. I believe that Jesus is in everybody. I believe that it is a journey to get to him. And I believe that he sacrificed his life for all of us. I do also find wisdom in Buddhism. I find wisdom in the religion that I was raised in, which is Zoroastrianism. I find faith in all things that I think are of a higher power in nature and help us all progress into a state of love. So I don't typically call myself a Christian. I don't, actually. I just really am a child of God. And I love Jesus, but I also love the wisdom that is given through other religions too, and I respect all of that. And I think that kind of makes me who I am too, in that the ultimate purpose is love.
Good. Now, let me ask you what could be personal, and if it is too personal, don't.
That's okay. Yeah. No.
Was there any part of your life, and I'm asking you now about self-value, your own expression, was there any part of your life, could have been early on, where someone said something to you or about you that caused you to doubt or wonder about your self-value that you had to overcome? Or was it just you just did not know your value?
I definitely think it was. I did not know my value. I think like all of us, we hear comments and we internalize them. And I've started to realize and this was actually really freeing, because before I used to take so much value in what people said. But then I kind of got to this point where I understood what they're saying is more about them than it is about me. So what they're saying is where they are in their journey in life. So if they don't believe something can happen, that is on them. That's about where they are in their journey. It's not about me. Because really what matters is, do I believe that this can happen? Do I believe in my union with God? Do I believe that I can create something out of nothing? And that answer is yes. So when people come to me, and in complete innocence, it's just do you really think that can happen? What about this? What about that? Being extremely cautionary or anything like that. And to me, it's there's that line that, if God is with you, who can be against you? And honestly, that is how I am living my life right now. I don't know if tomorrow something tragic may happen. This is not a way to stop that tragedy from happening. But I do know that today I have been given a purpose, and I have to live that purpose, and I have to have faith that if I truly believe that God has me, that he has me through everything.
Am I hearing you correctly, Anita? There was a time in your life when you used to internalize words. If they were negative, I, Anita, would internalize that. You could make me feel lesser about myself.
Mm-hmm.
How did you overcome that? Was it just a matter of time?
No, it was a matter of doing. It's a matter of doing. It's a matter of saying, like, that's like, no, you can. You got to do one more rep. And the reason why he's saying you got to do one more rep, it's important for you to get past that mental block of, I can't. And the more and more you keep doing that, the more you just put your foot into it. Like I was listening to this when Wayne Dyer passed away. He was like one of my greatest spiritual teachers. When he passed away, Hay House was putting all of his podcasts out. And there was this one podcast that came out right before, I was toying with doing Humans of Calvert, but then those negative thoughts of who's going to listen to it? How are you going to do this? You can't do this, blah, blah, blah. Like all these doubts and fears came in and they stopped me. And then he passes away and he puts this video out there. And he basically said, listen, if you get to the end of your life and you have tried nothing, like imagine what you're going to feel then. I should have, because it doesn't matter. When you're on that hospital bed, it doesn't matter what anyone had thought. It doesn't matter the fear you had or the doubt you had. It matters that you didn't do it. And so just stop assigning huge goals. Stop saying it needs to be successful. Stop saying that. Just put one foot in front of the other and do it. Take the walk. And when he said that, I just was like, yeah, that's what it's about. And so I started Humans of Calvert. And after that, I've just, everything that has come, I've put one foot in front of the other. So it's the doing. It's the, when you get to that threshold of I can't, say, no, I have to, I can. And you put one foot and you just keep going. And when you do that, less and less of the chaos and the negativity and the doubts and the fears have control of you.
Talk to us about, I'm going to use the term mentor. You haven't related that yet, but Wayne Dyer, it appears, was a mentor of sorts. He was an inspiration to you to where you listened to the video, watched the video, and you thought, no, I can. I, Anita, can, because of what I just heard from you, Wayne. But was there a point in your life where you were just kind of alone and just going about things? And now what I'm asking, Anita, is the value of, call it an accountability partner. Marty is my consummate accountability partner. We have mentors, we have others that we work with. What I'm asking you is, others who inspire us to do more than maybe internally we thought we could do. Talk to us about the value of just reaching out to others, and it may be a matter of, I'm going to express my vulnerability. I'm not sure I can do this. Can you, whomever you is, can you help me? Was that a part of your life?
I would say it's almost more a part of my life now than it was before. Because I think there's a lot of us who haven't gotten to that point where we have that, there's that saying is at the top, you're more alone. And you do feel that, not that I'm at the top, but that I do feel that, in that the more things that I say that aren't quote unquote normal, the more alone you kind of feel in it, because not everybody thinks that way. But then I kind of think that that's okay. I've gotten really used to being the one who says, no, I can pull that mountain out of the water. Like, no, I can do what I'm going to do right now. And I know you don't believe it, but I can do it. And when you're there in that space, there's not a lot of company around you. But the more and more people see it happening, the more and more they just believe then. They're like, oh, wait, no, she said it. I didn't think it could happen, but then it did. And look at what happened right now. Look at the amazing things that happen. I can do this too. And that's what has to happen in this universe almost, is people have to see it. And when they see it, they will start believing in themselves, because they're like, well, I didn't think she could do it, but now I can. And I have a whole host of people, though, that I go to, I call them my tribe, and that's who I depend on. actually more for accountability of my behavior, my reactions sometimes, my thinking, because these people that surround me and that are my tribe kind of know me almost better than me sometimes. And so I do have to, like, my challenge right now and the thing that I'm doing right now is I'm stopping and I'm like asking them exactly like you said, an accountability person, and saying, and then the bigger thing is I have to stop and listen to them and understand, this person wants the best for me. That's who should be in your tribe, is people who want the best for you. This person wants the best for me. They love me. They don't want to discount me. They don't want to discourage me. They don't want anything bad for me. And so they're saying this to me right now. Like, I really need to stop and listen and like just really let it settle in me and think about it. And that's how you create change within yourself. Because if you think you're always right, if you think you know everything, you just don't get farther than yourself.
Sure. Here's what I'm guessing, Anita, and tell me if I'm right. Those who may have known you for 35 years, maybe not followed you all the way through life, but they knew you early on at a young age.
Right.
There was let's just call it a 25-year gap, and they're back with you again. Those kind of people might say, oh my goodness, Anita, you're a miracle. And your response to that might be, it's only taken me 15 years to overcome stuff to be where I am right now. You just need to know what it is I had to overcome to get to where I am now. Here's what I think I'm hearing you say, Anita, because I can identify with you. I, Anita, am willing to travel the road less traveled. I will generate a lot of ideas.
So I think there's, you said something in there that really kind of like, hit. Because if you were that person who's known me for 25 years, you wouldn't say what you just said, because I had put on such a good facade. I really got like to be a master of putting on a great facade. So you would have no idea that I had self-value issues. You would have no idea that I had like a darkness. You would have no idea that I kind of went into low moods. You would have no idea, because you would just think like, no, she's always happy. She's always good. She's always so sweet. She's always that. Like, I just really got so good at putting on a facade. And it's like, but then you become more of that facade than you do your real self. And there's the danger. I heard a sermon one time, and he said, it's like every time you put on a facade, it's like you're telling God, who you created is not enough. I can do better. I can do better than what you created. And that woke me up. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, I can't do better than what God created. So what am I doing? Acting like if I am in a low state, that is a part of me, and that's okay, because I have found now that I've honored that low state, I've actually found that I get that low state right before I'm about to create something big. It's like my body is withdrawing and going inside and taking a rest and gaining its energy and like saying, no, we need to be a little bit more introverted right now to gain this momentum, because we're about to go out there and create. We're about to go out there and be amongst a whole bunch of people. And when we're out there, we have to exude an energy that is positive, because that's our purpose right now. So once I started honoring that, I was like, okay, it's not like society says, where it's like being in a low state is a bad thing, or being in a low state is a negative thing. Sometimes it's just a thing. But the thing is, you have to see it as a part of your journey, and you still have to take the steps. You still have to do the work through it. You still have to like meditate. You still have to work out. You still have to eat well. You still have to do all of these things, because you get through your low state into a high state, but you're not always going to be in a high state, and that's okay. So I hope the people that have known me for 25 years now like would see me going from more of a facade to more of an authentic self, and still see me as being positive, but like authentically positive, because I truly do believe what I'm saying.
I'm living a part of my life with your explanation. I refer to myself as, in the past, in the context of being a spiritual fake. Now, what I'm saying to that, Anita, because I want our listeners to know that I'm identifying what you're saying, I had a very low self-confidence, low self-image at an earlier age. I wanted to be something. When I say I wanted to be somebody, it's not, huge notoriety, but I didn't know what my self-worth was, or to use your word, I'm not sure I have any value. I was able to overcome that, but I was 27, 28 years old until I was able to overcome that. So you put on a facade, your own words, and I'm betting some people could see through that. Anita, I'm hearing words, but you, I think, are putting on an image that you're not really living, but you overcame that. Here's where I'm going with this. Anita, would you be willing to, on another episode, come back and talk to us a little bit more about your own words, the facade you used to live, but now you overcame that, and now when I'm going to use some words that you made with you. Yep, this is what I used to be. I have no shame in telling you that, because I'm now confident enough in myself. I know my value enough that I'm willing to share this with you and tell you this is who I used to be, but I'm not who I used to be. And Anita, that's what I'm hearing in you.
Yeah, I most definitely will. I would love to.
Let's share that with our next episode with our listeners.
Okay, most definitely.
Thank you.
Yes.
Where are you with your self-assessment of self-worth, self-value, worth, value, whatever term you may use? Do you sometimes compare yourself with others? And almost always when that happens, you come up short. Do you compare yourself with whatever someone else may say is the stereotypical profile of a successful person, that you should have whatever degrees, money, anything of that sort? Anita is very poignant in stating that she went through this and she's still overcoming some feelings of inadequacy, that she doesn't fit the stereotype of some people's expectations of having a degree, having wealth, having lived a life that is stereotypically something that meets someone else's expectations. We're going to learn that she lived a life of falsity, meaning she lived a life where she faked her way through a portion of life because of this low self-esteem. She did not fit a stereotype and so forth, but she overcame, and there is an aspect of self-affirmation. She's feeding the positive to far overcome the negative. Let me have your thoughts. Have you overcome any stereotypical prototypes, any stereotypical expectations that others have of you? When I was in high school, I felt that if there were a category of the least likely to succeed, I probably would have fit that category. Anita, possibly without having said so, may have felt that way about herself, but she's a model of having overcome the past. She's had many successes, and she is moving on, and as Marty very eloquently said in the beginning, she's making good. And so she is a very positive example of what can happen with a person when there's more positive that outweighs whatever negative we're thinking of. Share with us in comments, share with us in calling, share with us however you can. Email ron@thecooperculture.com or marty@thecooperculture.com. That's MARTY. Or call us at 410-586-1875. Let us know how you have overcome anything of the past that may have some correlation with self-worth, self-value, but you have overcome. We hope we can garner a 5-star rating from you. We hope you will want to subscribe to this podcast series, and we hope that we will join each other. Let's work together to share, overcome any past experiences. Let's pass on those attributes life lessons that are positive. Let's share just enough of the negative to let each other know that what we've tried in the past may not work, but everything we do is positive. Everybody needs a coach. Everyone can value from having a coach. There are some of us who have overcome many obstacles in life because we're allowing different things to react in our subconscious that can control us in our conscious mind. Coaching can help overcome those things of the past that are keeping us from operating at our full potential. Marty and I are certified coaches through the John Maxwell team, and we want to help you to overcome any obstacles of the past, anything that may keep you from operating at your full performance potential. Call us, let's work together, let's share with each other, let's advance each other. We look forward to working with you.